Hey, what's up, and welcome to the All-In Networker Podcast. This podcast started because myself, Dan McCabe, had a question. The question was, how do you build a big team fast in network marketing? So I asked a good mentor of mine, Dr. David Pietsch, who is a Hall of Famer, 250,000 customers in his downline, tens of thousands of representatives, and he just started spilling the beans. Started telling me everything, not just what worked in the past, but what he is doing in the future to really grow and build his business. I said, hey doc, this needs to be a thing. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're gonna turn this into a podcast. So here it is, the secret straight from his mouth into your ears. Whatever we can do to help you and the industry grow is what we're here for. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's get started. Hey, what's up, and welcome to the All-In Networker Podcast. I am here, as always, with my co-host, Dr. David Pietsch. How you doing, Doctor?
You know my answer, Daniel. Living the dream, baby. Let's go.
You know, I know your answer. And, we just got done with the huddle call that we do with your team every single day because that's what people should do. If you're running a sales organization, hopping on a call for 10 minutes with them each day is a very doable thing. But we just got that call and you made an announcement, something that I did not realize. Today marks officially 10 years since the day you sold your chiropractic office.
That is exactly right. 10 years of freedom. 10 years of not having to drive anywhere to go to work every day. Right. 10 years of money coming in month after month after month, way higher than my residual bills. True freedom. It's mind-boggling. So my story is, joined my network marketing company 13 years ago. Prior to that, I had been practicing chiropractic for 10 years. So I have a straight up side-by-side 10-year comparison, 10 years in chiropractic, 10 years in network marketing. $10 million more earned in network marketing, a ton more freedom, way more fun, way less stress, just living life.
Yeah.
So is it worth it to build something part-time at nights? Yes.
And now the only chiropractic questions you get are when people like me are like digging for information, like, oh, doc, my neck's a little tight. Can you, like, what do you think this is? So I don't have to go and see your chiropractor. But not a bad place to be. Congratulations on that. It's a big milestone. I mean, it's 10 years ago when you sold your chiropractic office or when you started building your network marketing business, was this day in mind? I mean, did you envision this is part of the future?
There was no possible way that I could have envisioned what has happened would happen. I mean, to be honest, when I started building, I just wanted to get my money back. I was like, that's the truth. And, then I started thinking, well, maybe I can get my income $1 higher than my residual bills. And, the reality is I just kept going and going and going and going and going. And, even from that, you can never envision 250,000 people, same company, 13 years, 10 years of not having to work. Like that's the dream, man. So, but that has become the reality and we just expect more of the same. So huge blessing in my life.
Yeah, it's so hard to picture. And the problem with your story now is that when you tell it to people and like you got this story of edification that everybody needs in network marketing, but the problem is that people don't believe they can do it. But like you're sitting right there, like you did it. And that was a big part for me actually when I rejoined the network marketing world a number of years ago was the ability when I met you and I met some of the other leaders and I met the people making 6 figures a month. I mean, sometimes it's a hard thing to realize or picture for the regular person. And that's funny because we go back now in some of the trainings and things like that. And if you listen to the Jackie and Holly episode from a few episodes back, they talk about the easiest way to start attracting and bringing moms isn't by telling them, hey, you can have total time and money freedom. It's about saying like, hey, how would you like an extra few $100 a month to pay for dance lessons? But that's kind of what you're saying. In the beginning, it was, how do I make my money back? How do I make something? How do I cover my car payment?
It's too big for people to chew off saying, hey, you're going to make $100,000 a month. I mean, they can't see themselves doing that. But, just going back in my own mind, I was thinking, here I am, I was like 37 when I signed up for the network marketing company, and I had money as a chiropractor. I just didn't like to spend it. I was driving my Yukon because I had a Yukon, I like pulling my boat around, and I'm thinking, well, I could do this network marketing deal, make a couple $100, go buy myself a nice car, justify it that way. It's just kind of free money. It has nothing to do with my real money that I'm saving over here. So I was thinking, a couple $100. I think that's the masses of people. And if you can understand that, it's getting a lot of people to want to get a little, and once okay, now I got my car payment covered. Well, maybe I can cover my house payment. Maybe I can cover my student loans, whatever's going on in their mind. And they go, eventually I can cover my entire bills, so just one little step at a time. And that's network marketing.
Yeah. And you said it really well there. I like that. Getting a lot of people that just want a little. And then a certain amount of those people, I mean, it's just like anything, a certain percentage of those people will see something the way that you saw it, and they're going to shoot for the moon. They're going to say, wow, I did this in this amount of time. What else can I do? The
rock stars figure that out on their own. You don't have to tell them that. I mean, they can see a path to, if somebody wants to make $100,000 a month, they figure that out on their own. You don't have to sell them on that.
Right.
You're better off, of course you want to land the whales. You want to land the aces. You want to get those people, but you also want to get everybody that's in front of you, and just show them a path to a couple $100 a month. They're in.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is interesting. So I like this topic. I like where we're kind of like this direction we're going on before we actually get on today's topic, which is also relevant to what we're talking about now. But selling people, regular people, getting a lot of people in with the smaller vision, it's just interesting because we spend so much time talking about vision within our trainings and how you need to create a vision so big other people can see their vision inside of your vision. But maybe your vision's so big that you're just helping people, helping a couple thousand people develop this vision of how they can make their car payment every month without having to worry or upgrade their car. And you're right. I would bet you could go back through your entire downline and there's not a single person that turned into being a rock star where you went and recruited that person to be a rock star and you sold them a rock star lifestyle versus getting people in. They figured out for themselves, raised their hand and said, I'm going to become a rock star.
I mean, I just think back to, some people on my team right now that just hit the highest rank in our company. I met him in his first year of chiropractic school. And my sales pitch to him was, this is a way for you to pay off your student loans. That was it. And that was going to be, I wasn't saying, hey, you're going to make, $200,000. I'm saying the payment's going to be this. You can get money that's coming in every month that is higher than that. So if it's $700 a month, well, let's get you $700 a month coming in, and you just paint people that picture, they can see the path to doing that.
Yeah, no, that's true. And, and I know those people and they've done quite well. And, they ended up earning $1 million within their business. And that wasn't the original pitch. They figured that out. They realized, that there was more by going out there and finding more people like them, more people that just wanted a little. So interesting. Well, the topic for today, what I wanted to talk about, and it's really just relevant to your business and to a lot of people's businesses yesterday. As of the recording of this, just for context for everybody, it's July 1st, 2020. And so it's the first day of the month. And that would make yesterday the last day of June. And the last day of the month, a lot of network marketing teams, a lot of network marketers just go bananas. They go crazy. They do everything they can to put in every warm body that they can into their businesses so they can catch the next rank, they can catch the next bonus. It is just like we are conditioned from grade school to wait until the last minute for some reason. But that's what happens. And I know yesterday, I know you've got, multiple big teams and there's always kind of one place you're focusing on. There's one little smaller center of your team that was kind of the most beneficial for you to build yesterday. And the numbers were pretty ridiculous. Like how many people went in yesterday just on that one?
Well, I'm not sure, but I know I would say at least 50 bodies went in yesterday. It's tough to tell exactly due to various factors, but the bottom line is we just got ourselves in a tizzy, first thing in the morning, put the plan together, got everybody all riled up and just took massive action to get stuff done by midnight. We had to achieve things by midnight. And I've been telling people forever that if you just worked every day like it was the last day of the month when you wanted to achieve those goals and pop up through those ranks and get those extra bonuses, if you just did that every single day for a very condensed amount of time, you would be light years ahead if you just kind of, rather than just momming and popping it a little bit here, a little bit there. It's, everything you got, get everybody doing everything they got, day after day. I mean, Dan, today, if my team did what they did yesterday, can you imagine if they did it again the next day and the next day? I mean, it's just, but that's how the business works. I've already been there. I've done that. I know exactly what that's like. That's how it works.
Yeah. And I would venture across all the teams, the number is pretty staggering how many people came in, because you had a lot of people in other organizations that were all in a tizzy. But I think about this particular one because we, understanding the comp plan and understanding where it best suits. I mean, you work the comp plan to make the most amount of money possible. And in this particular spot yesterday, I mean, I was a part of the process with you a good chunk of the day and working with some people. Really, those numbers came down to maybe getting 4 people in a tizzy, finding 4 people that wanted to run and just pushing all day long. All day long. It was nonstop text messages. It was, group chats. It was Facebook messages. It was like kind of everything that you can do with that small group of people and getting them all to rally around this one common goal. And it's amazing. I mean, when you are looking at achieving a goal for yourself, it's I love all 4 of those people. I think they all build the business for the right reasons. They all got the same end goals and things that they want to build. But you rally these people around and you say, this is my goal. This is where I want to get. Can you help me get there? They all push hard for it. They push hard for it. They've got their own goals they want to achieve. But I can guarantee you that yesterday, everybody, some of them in particular, they pushed harder because of your goal. And when you can rally people around a goal like that, that's what you got to do. And you just got to do it on a regular basis. Who wants to run today? Get whoever wants to raise their hand and then lasso them up and run.
Yeah. And, and just to throw fire on that, you just run little tiny promotions, inside. Usually the company's running some sort of bigger promotions. So you run little tiny promotions inside the company's bigger promotions. And I just promise you, it's the people that are on the front line of the battlefield that if you keep them engaged, you give them a little extra, they go a million miles for you. And that's how you do the business.
Yeah, it was these little promotions. I mean, it was little promotions, donating some money. It was like to charity. We did all kinds of crazy stuff yesterday, whatever got people like in the door. But you know what? It's that kind of creativeness and bullheadedness and drive is what it takes to really succeed in doing that consistently. It's the last day of the month yesterday and all these people pushed really hard. And, I'm not sure it's still early here now, but, we can reach back out to them. Like, I want these people to realize, like, if you do what you did yesterday, you do it every day. I mean, how many people, out of the 50 plus people that signed up for the team, and I think it was actually closer to 60 or 70 probably, but out of all those 50, 60, 70 people that showed up yesterday, can we rally 3-4 of them to do something, to go on a little mini run, to build that business, to see what their friend just showed, or to see what their friend, the vision they just painted for them, and get them to do it again. And this business isn't as complicated as people like to make it. You just keep doing what we just talked about over and over, but find a new group of 4 people and do it again.
You just have to empower people so that when they pick up the phone or they send a text message, they just feel like their offer is so compelling that every single person is going to do it. All the fear is just gone. And that's what you have to do. You have to create scenarios, whatever that is. Dan, I used to say all the time, I would pay $1 million to have $1 million year residual income. The problem is most people don't have $1 million. But here's the cool thing. You don't need $1 million. It could be anything, Dan. I've run contests in the past where the prize was you get a Batman t-shirt or you get Wonder Woman bracelets, or you get up on stage and you get a poster of Wonder Woman. It doesn't even have to be some monetary thing. Contests and promotions, I promise you work. I mean, I got a buddy on my team. This guy puts together a day at the lake and they have a big pot of stew that they all eat out of. And it's like, you don't want to not be there and not in the cool kid club because you didn't make 1 or 2 sales or something like that. So you get a lot of people to do a little in a short period of time. That's how this deal goes. You just do it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, it reminds me of a quote that I'm totally going to screw up here a little bit. And when you run contests, cash contests are always fun. People get into them, but it's what you're saying, like t-shirts and like activities, and to be part of a group. People want that recognition. So, I mean, there's no quote out there that people work for money, they'll die for recognition. And so the prize doesn't need to be ridiculous. We found better success in the past with things just like you were saying. Like it could be a t-shirt, it could be a dinner, it could be an invite to a cocktail party with a select group of people, or hey, everybody that does this, you all get to come to this cocktail party and drinks are on me all night. You know, those drinks, I mean, I don't know if you guys all drink a lot, you know, on average, I've never bought more than 3 drinks per person, which maybe costs, say we're in Vegas, maybe it costs $50, but in normal life, it's going to cost $15. You can get people to work harder to be able to be allowed to be at that cocktail party than if you were to say, hey, I'm going to give you $100 a piece. Within
the key to that is you just don't want people to be left out. You know, you don't want to be the odd man out because you didn't put in a couple of sales. It's kind of like, oh my goodness gracious, I am such a chump. You just won't do that to yourself. Exactly. All my friends are going to be there, but I can't go because I didn't put a couple of people in. They'll never do it. They will find a way to get it done. It's what happens.
Oh, I remember, you know, back when I was actively building, you know, before I was kind of working with you and doing a lot of these other things we're doing now with All In Networker and the training programs, things like that. But I remember there was a day where there's an opportunity to be a part of a beta group within corporate, and you need to get like 8 sales in for that. And there was no way I was failing. It wasn't going to happen. Failure was not an option. It was getting done. I wanted to be in that group. I wanted to be in that group so bad, you know, and it ended up probably not netting me much of anything in hindsight, but I was not missing that group. I'm never missing a party. I would get mad if I saw somebody else on stage. I would not miss the opportunity to walk across stage. I mean, those things, I admit, like in general, I'm all about like, how can we go out there and make the most money we possibly can within our businesses? But I get motivated by those, just like everybody else does.
Well, I mean, the things I've done in the past is just challenge other individuals in my company, you know, people who are not in my organization or in my organization. But the bottom line is, I don't want to stand on stage and have somebody throw a pie in my face. I don't want to have to walk around one of our big events saying, you know, I can't beat so-and-so. You know, like I had a guy in my, I did a contest with a guy from Greece, and he had to wear a shirt at our convention saying, I can't beat David Pietsch. He had to wear it the whole weekend. You know, I've had contests where if I win, I get to shave your head. If you win, I have to grow my hair out. You know, that would be humiliating for me. There's no way that I'm going to do that. You know, so this is honest goodness truth. In the company that I'm in, 13 years, I've been challenged by more people. I've never lost a contest. Why? Because it is my pride. I will not. I have the mystique. I have the mojo. You know, it's like, I'm not going to let that go for somebody, you know, for some little window of time. All I got to do is hunker down and I'm going to beat you. You know, so you pick 2 or 3 top people on your team to buy into that concept, you will move heaven and earth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this little run that happened yesterday with this group of people, I remember we were talking about it the evening before a little bit, and like what kind of numbers would it take? What would have to get done tomorrow to make, you know, the goal happen? And you could tell that a little bit of that fire started showing up in your eyes a little bit, and you're ready to go. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Like there was no failure, wasn't ever even a possibility. So funny thing is,
another thing that makes it happen is if you make it public. Yep. You know, one of the things I was doing my first year in the company when I was going up through the ranks, setting all the records, is every time I got on stage, I would say, I'm going to be the top earner. I'm going to pass every one of you guys in the front line. Even though I'm on your team, everything I do benefits you. I'm still going to pass you. And when I made it public, it put my neck on the chopping block that I better deliver. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a chump at the next one. You know, so again, making my goals public, holding myself accountable by doing that. There's just a lot of things that you can do to your own mentality to shift it, just to get you to take action and get stuff done every day and actually achieve the goals that you set for yourself.
Yeah, no, it's there's no doubt. I mean, I've certainly done things like that before. And actually, you know, when we put together this workbook, the All In for 90 workbook, it was based off of a workout challenge. I mean, originally when we were putting it together, and when I really wanted, if you look at some of the concepts in here, is based off of a workout challenge I did with some other people once upon a time. And that particular workout challenge, there was no prize at the end. There was no money. There was no recognition other than completion. But doing something like that, doing that workout challenge, it motivated me because we had a Facebook group where every single day you need to check in and you need to say you did it or you didn't. If you didn't do it, you had to start back over at day 1, and you had to say and be honest to yourself and to everybody else in that group. And I so badly did not ever want to go into that group and say that I failed. I mean, there's no monetary value. I didn't even know these people really. I barely knew them. Like I'd met 2 of them once upon a time at a conference, and then I somehow became friends with them over this period of time. But I wanted it so badly. I was going out for workouts and runs at midnight in the rain because I'm sitting there. Like there were times when I went to bed at like 10 o'clock knowing that I had failed and would get up at midnight and go work out because I'm like, oh, like, like it was weighing on me. Like at 10 o'clock, I'm like, no, screw it. I quit. I'm out of here. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't do it. And then like midnight, rain jacket on, let's go. So it's the same thing. What can you do to get yourself into that mentality over and over again?
Got to have a workout partner, got to have an accountability partner. And if you're laying in bed at 10 o'clock and you haven't shown 2 people, you got to get up and send 2 text messages saying, we got to meet in the morning. You just live your life that way. Listen, I got to where I'm at by this. I had goals that I set and I had to achieve them. That's just it. There was just no other option. I had to achieve them by certain dates,
Yeah. Maybe a good trick for people would be is like join a few like Facebook groups of people that are in Hawaii, just in case you're in the US and you're getting desperate at 10 o'clock at night, at least those people will be awake. So.
And we proved that last night because, it was getting late in the night. We were trying to achieve our goals. And a lot of people on the East Coast and Central Time were going to bed, but my West Coast teams were cranking it out. So you're right.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So no, it's a good concept. So, to circle this back all around and bring it back into, originally what today's theme was. Today's theme was, work every day like it's the first day of the month. It's hard. It's hard to put in that kind of effort every single day. It was exhausting. Like, for the piece that I was a part of, like for the amount you could see people working, like it's emotionally, physically taxing. It just is. You're taking a lot of abuse. If you're going out and working hard, you're getting your fair share of no's. You're getting slapped around a little bit. At the same time, you're getting these quick wins and successes, but you don't have time to enjoy them because you need to get on to the next person as quickly as you can. And you just got to keep moving. But it's, if you can get that mentality on the first day of the month and throughout the entire month, kind of the way you did with your business before you sold your chiropractic business exactly 10 years ago today, then you get that lifestyle that you didn't even know existed when you started network marketing.
Yeah. My mentality was when I was making my first run to the top, it was, I'm just going to hit every daily goal that I have. And I'm just going to do the activity. And I would just think every single day, if I do this, I get $1 million. I get $1 million tonight. If I do this, I get $1 million tonight. Because I knew if I kept doing it, eventually I would get the $1 million. So I just kept doing what I was supposed to do, even though I didn't feel like it, with the understanding that today I do this, they're going to give me $1 million at midnight.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. Well, with that being said, we're going to close it out here. And, just really, whoever's listening to this, whenever you're listening to this, when it's released 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I hope that it motivates you enough to adjust your plans, look at your daily goals. Most of you probably already set daily goals. Did you do what you said you were going to do today? If not, get it done today. Make sure that this motivates you to continue moving forward day after day after day after day. So appreciate you as always, Doc. And, we'll be back here soon enough. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the All In Networker podcast. Till next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the All In Networker podcast. Dr. David Pietsch and I greatly appreciate it. If you receive some value or you know somebody that would receive some value, please share this episode with them. We want to pick up the entire industry, help serve the entire industry of network marketing. We believe that when other network marketers win, we all win. So on top of that, if you'd like to check out some of our free trainings, you can go to allinnetworker.com. Otherwise, please just rate, subscribe to this episode, this podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, thanks a lot.